Hi students, good morning and welcome back to EPR's physics class. In the previous session, we discussed friction and what are various types of frictions by name static friction or limiting friction. Number 2, kinetic friction. Of course, it is nothing but dynamic friction, and in case of rolling bodies, it is nothing but rolling friction. Along with we define the three coefficients of friction by name coefficient of static friction, represented by mu s coefficient of static friction, which is defined as the ratio of static frictional force to normal reaction. Secondly, coefficient of kinetic friction, coefficient of dynamic friction, of course, which is defined as the ratio of kinetic frictional force to normal reaction. And last but not least, coefficient of rolling friction, it is nothing but mu r, rolling frictional force by normal reaction, nothing but it is defined as the ratio of rolling frictional force to normal reaction. Okay. Moreover, we also conclude that the coefficient of static friction is greater than the coefficient of kinetic friction. Of course, it is greater than coefficient of rolling friction. It's a good relation. That means the frictional force required just to start the motion of a body is much greater than the other. It is greater than the frictional force that comes into exist when a body is moving, and it is least in case of a rolling frictional force. This is from the last class. Now, rolling friction and what are the laws of rolling friction? See, it is rolling friction, and what are the laws of rolling friction? Number 1, this rolling friction is small since the contact of the spherical body or circular body with the floor on which it is moving is small. So, larger is the size of what that is the radius, and less will be the force. And moreover, it is found to be directly proportional to the normal reaction. Thus, these three together called laws of rolling friction. Along with this, we studied what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages, and of course, what are the methods to be followed to reduce the friction. Coming to advantages, we can give number of advantages with friction. Of course, I am able to write on the board due to the friction between the piece of chalk and the board. If there is no friction between these two, I can't write on the board. And seriously, it is not possible to walk on the surface of the ground without friction between my shoe and the ground. The frictional force between these two causes to push the floor backward and able to move. Screws, nuts and bolts does not fit without friction. In the machinery parts which are running with the help of conveyor belts, they does not function without friction. Nails does not tighten in the wall without friction. All these are considered as advantages of friction. Then what are the disadvantages of friction? There are so many losses due to this one. Friction causes, one of the main loss due to friction is it causes damage to the parts. That means between the machinery parts when they are moving contact with each other part, it causes wear and tear. Hence, it causes to damage of engine parts. Number two, if you touch a body, that means a machine body, after it works for some time, you feel it is hot. Means what? Because of friction, certain amount of energy which is released by the machine, it is converted to heat. Hence, there is possibility for loss of energy also. This is. So, here in some cases it is useful, in some cases it has its own disadvantage also. What our job is, we have to use the friction, but we have to take the remedies which damage, which gives disadvantages to us. So, they are called methods of reducing friction. It is a good question, board question. Methods of reducing friction. What are the methods to be applied? Number one, by polishing to them to a proper stage. That means the two contacting surfaces should not be highly polished, or they should not be very less polished. They should be moderately polished. That is called a degree of smoothness, degree of polishing. Number one, it reduces the friction between the parts. Number two, using lubricants. That means between the machinery parts, we often use small and simple technique, a household technique. That means if we drop a few drops of coconut oil between the machinery parts, it functions smoothly. Similarly, for huge automobiles, grease is applied between the bearings and the axis of rotation to reduce friction between the machinery parts. At the same time, ball bearings are used to reduce the rolling friction. Ball bearings, even in our bicycles and in our bikes also, we find this technology. By using balls, spherical balls, a set of balls, this axis is able to rotate very freely. Once if we rotate with our hand, it undergoes number of turns. That means the slipping motion is possible without any friction. It continues for some time also. Beyond this, it's a very oftenly hearing word. There is streamlining. That means when new bikes were introduced in the market, new cars were introduced in the market, and we can come across this word by streamlining. Streamlining means they are designed in such a way that the air friction, the friction of air will be less on them. In such a way, in such a shape, they will be designed. That is called streamlining. Using these we can reduce the amount of friction between the parts. Okay. Now, in today's class, I am going to give pulling and pushing effects. Alert students, it is a very important question for board examination, intermediate board examination. It is pulling effect and pushing effect. See, pulling, how it is? Pulling of a body. Pulling of a body. How it is? What do you mean by this pulling? See here, it is a circular body, because rolling friction is possible in case of spherical bodies only. Let it is its center, and it is ground, this on which it is supposed to roll. This is ground. Pulling means what? Applying some force on it, making certain horizontal, making certain angle with the horizontal is called pulling a body. Pulling means like this. Let us suppose in this way we applied some force. This is force. Okay. Now, try to write what components of forces act on this one. See, our friend is there, that is weight of the body which acts vertically downwards irrespective of the case. It is mg, it's acting downwards. And automatically its a pair of force comes into existence. What is this? This is called normal reaction. This is called normal reaction. This is n. Okay, it is action reaction pair. Weight mg acts on the ground, whereas n is a normal reaction act by the floor onto the body. Now I will do one thing. Since it is making some angle with the horizontal, I am going to resolve this function into two rectangular components by namely horizontal component and vertical component. Okay, now see this. This is horizontal component of force. It is nothing but F cos theta. Vertical component, it is nothing but F sin theta, where F is the applied force with which the body is pulled. In this case, see, these two are the upward component and this one only the downward component. So from this we can say upward and downward forces balance in the condition, and because n plus F sin theta is equal to downward mg. Right, from this n is equal to mg minus F sin theta, n is equal to. From the definition we have frictional force which starts the motion, just begins to slide, that is called static frictional force, is directly proportional to the normal reaction. And if introduce a constant, this frictional force is equal to a constant by name mu s into n. If we substitute the value of n in this expression, we have Fs is equal to what we have. Mu s means mu s into n means the value of this one. It is nothing but mg minus F sin theta. That's all. This is the formula. That means when we are trying to pull a body making some angle theta, then the frictional force that comes into exist is Fs is equal to mu s into mg minus F sin theta. Right. Now let us check what happened in case of pushing a body. In case of pushing a body, see here comparatively, I feel it is convenient to you to study comparatively. It is nothing but pushing a body. Pushing a body, nothing but pushing force. Pushing force. Same is the case. See, here also I am considering the same figure. It is the same horizontal. Here it is the rolling body. Here it is the rolling body. Okay. Okay. See, this is the center of this body. What is pushing and what is pulling? Here pulling means making certain angle if we apply certain force on this one. This is called pushing. This force is called pushing forces. Right? What is the components of forces acting on this body? Number one, as usual, what is this? It is mg. Number two, by the surface onto the body, nothing but n. This is called normal reaction. In this case, if we try to resolve this one into both horizontal and as well as vertical components, see what are the two forces acting. See, in this case it is F cos theta, this horizontal component. Coming to this one, it is F sin theta, this F cos theta and F sin theta. Are you clear? It is making this angle with the horizontal. In this case, try to get the balancing forces. What is the upward force acting here? N. What are the downward forces acting? Both F sin theta and mg, they are acting along the same line of action. That's why n is equal to how much in this case? N is equal to mg plus F sin theta. Mg plus F sin theta. As usual, this frictional force found to be directly proportional to normal reaction, and if you introduce a constant, frictional force is equal to a constant by name mu s into n. If we substitute the value of n here, we get frictional force by name static frictional force is equal to mu s into the value of n, nothing but mg plus F sin theta. This is the formula. Observe carefully, observe carefully. In the previous case, we got Fs is equal to mu s into mg minus f sin theta, and in this case it is nothing but Fs is equal to mu s into mg plus f sin theta, mg minus f sin theta, mg plus f sin theta. I mean, in these two cases, in which case the frictional forces will be greater? It's clearly in this case the frictional forces will be greater. So what? More is the frictional force, more is the friction due to force which opposes the motion of the body, more force we have to apply. Try to understand, try to understand. Here, by calculation it is clear that the frictional force, where the frictional force present, it present here which opposes the motion of this body. Okay, this is nothing but mg into f sin theta. In this case, the pushing force required is mg plus f sin theta here. So clearly here the frictional force required is greater in this case. Frictional force is more means what? The opposing forces will be more. More is oppositional force and more force we have to apply it. That's why in which case it is easier to pull the body is easier na, or to push the body is easier na. It is clearly by pulling the body, pulling a body is easier than pushing a body. That's why the term is called rickshaw puller will be there, but no possibility for rickshaw pushers, because pulling is easier than pushing this. Right? Yes, just now we conclude that pulling is easier than pushing this. In the same way, now I am going to illustrate some examples in which the previous knowledge of friction is used in solving the numericals. Let us consider as one of this one. It is a horizontal. I am giving now horizontal motion on a rough surface, on a rough surface. Rough means where there is friction, such is called rough. If there is no friction, that is called smooth surface. Now see, it is a surface on which another body, a body is placed. For example, if we give a small push to it, what happens? If we give a small push to this body and release, what happens? It starts and it is moving with velocity which gradually goes on decreasing. Am I right? Finally, it comes to rest itself. It comes to rest. Okay, here it comes to rest. That means final velocity is equal to 0. It is pushed with some initial velocity. Why it comes to rest? As per our discussion concerned, some frictional forces will be induced in the opposite direction. These frictional forces slows down its motion, hence it comes to rest. Okay, it comes to rest means it is accelerating or decelerating. Undoubtedly, it is decelerating. Decelerating means it is having some negative acceleration, which is numerically equal to minus mu z. This is acceleration of the body in such case. And very interesting thing, without any strain, without backhatting, I will give some technique which you can get so many cases in this case. For example, you take the kinetic equations of motions, very simple, which you already learnt in the previous chapter, by means, first one, V is equal to U plus AT is that. V is equal to U plus AT is that. That means, see, I am designing one problem. Here. A block placed on a horizontal surface is pushed with a velocity of 10 meter per second. 10 meter per second. The coefficient of friction between the body and the surface is given as 0.2. After what time it comes to rest? It's a very simple thing. After what time it comes to rest? That means finally it comes to rest means V is equal to 0, you can substitute now. U, already you have the value given in the problem. A is equal to, as I said, it is nothing but minus mu g and t, which implies mu g into t is equal to u. Last step, the time taken by the body to comes to stop is given by mu by u by mu and g. It is, this is called stopping times. Stopping time. Once again, I am repeating the problem. See, a block placed on a rough horizontal surface is given some initial velocity. Because of the friction between these two bodies, the body gradually slows down, that is decelerating by an amount of mu g. Negative sign indicates that the acceleration goes on decreasing from time to time, finally comes to rest. What is simplest equation we have from equations of motion? V is equal to u plus at. Since finally this body comes to rest, I am taking this V as 0, u as it is. In the place of A, it is decelerating at a rate of minus mu z. For t I am writing as is. From this we can calculate the time t is equal to u by mu g. U by mu g. What this time is called? The time after which the body comes to rest due to friction. We can calculate using this technology. It's very simple now. Only this equation we need. In this we will substitute the value of A as minus mu g. That's it. I will try to give one more example to you this. Okay. I will consider one more case. A body is given a push. And it comes to rest after traveling a distance s. Of course, since it is straight line, we can write a displacement also this. In the previous case, after what time it comes to rest, we verify it. In this case, after traveling what distance it comes to rest, it is nothing but stopping distance. In the previous case, that is called stopping time. Here it is stopping distance, we can say. Just recollect what formula we have regarding these. That means initial velocity, final velocity, displacement, and also acceleration. We have v square minus u square is equal to 2as. Since final velocity is 0, this is 0, minus u square is equal to 2 as it is. In the place of a, it is nothing but minus mu z, and this is s. Simply minus u square is equal to minus 2 mu g s. This negative sign gets cancelled on either side. If we make this one as subject, therefore s, what s? We call it as a stopping distance. Stopping distance s is equal to u square by 2 mu g. It is another formula which is very, very useful in solving numerical problems in friction. This is called stopping distance. In the previous case, after what time it comes to rest, that is called stopping time, and this is the stopping distance. Consider one more case. It is application of friction. And before going to numerical part, once again I am insisting you, don't try to by heart these formulae. So very casually we can learn it by using the block diagram technology. That means when we need to solve a problem, try to write the figure and identify what are the different forces acting it. Then from that we can calculate whatever we need. See, it is a block, wooden block. What is the horizontal force required to push it against a vertical wall? Oh, it is nothing but the duster problem. This. That means generally we are using duster like this. It is pressed against the wall. With what force we have to push it? So that it does not fall down. This. So shall we call it a minimum horizontal force required to hold the body? This. Now try to write what different forces act on it. Let you are pushing this against the wall with a force F. Okay. Shall I call it as action? Action? Definitely. What would be the reaction now? Undoubtedly, it is nothing but the normal reaction. This is N. F is the force with which I am pushing the body against the wall, and N is the force with which the wall pushes the body. Right? Where is our friend? Where is our friend? Our friend is weight mg. Weight mg. How it is acting? It is acting vertically downwards, like this. It is acting vertically downwards. Right? Where is the hero of our chapter? Where is the hero? Hero means frictional force. When this body tries to move downwards because of its weight, frictional force comes into exist, which acts in the vertical direction. Since we are confined to only what is the minimum force, it is nothing but the static frictional force. Static frictional force comes into exist. Okay, na? See, once again, I am giving the data of this one. When a body of mass m is pushed against a vertical wall, then the normal reaction on the body by the wall is N. Okay, it is better to write here for your convenience sake. I am pushing it with force F, and N is a normal reaction. Weight mg acts vertically downward. Frictional forces between the body and the surface act vertically upward. What is the balancing purpose? That means here frictional force S is equal to Fs is equal to mg. Fs is equal to mg. But the standard equation, frictional forces proportional to normal reaction. Of course, frictional force is equal to a constant mu s into n. If we substitute the value of Fs here, and now see what happened. Mg is equal to mg. For mu s, I am writing as mu s. This normal force can be replaced with F. That's why this is F. In this problem, this is the subject. That's why I am writing this F as subject. F is equal to mg by mu s. That means the horizontal force to required to keep a body without sliding down is given by F is equal to mg by mu s, where m is the mass of this body, g is acceleration due to gravity, nothing but 9.8 meter per second square, and mu s is the coefficient of static friction between the body and the wall. If you observe this carefully, the next item you can do yourself. It's a small variation in the question. See, what is the variation? That's why I am calling very often, physics is very beautiful subject, provided if you understood the concept and if you are able to draw the formula by yourself. No need of by-hearting this. If you by-heart, what happened? It happened. You forget very easily this. Now see, in the previous case, one body I press against a wall. For example, here is a book. This is a book. Okay. Generally, the book is held between the two hands like this. See, like I am holding the book with the help of two hands. Okay, two contacting surfaces. See, this is one hand, and this is another hand, one more hand. See, we are not artist minded, but we can give just idea. That means we are pushing this one with a force F. Same, this one also we are pushing it with a force F. Okay, now what happened? It exerts a normal reaction N. This is also same, since these two forces are equal. And where the frictional forces arises? One is at the junction of these two, and the second frictional force is between these two, like this. This is frictional force and this is frictional force. Okay, and as usual, the weight of the book acts vertically downward. This is the condition. What is the question? What is the question? Shall I repeat my question? If a book or a body, a block is pressed between your two hands by applying equal forces, and the coefficient of friction between your hand and the book is given, with what force you have to press it in order to keep the book without slipping down? That is the question. Now see, using this, how can we solve this? What are the upward and downward forces? Be ready with this one. What are the upward and downward forces? Upward forces, there are two. This is F plus F. In the previous case, there is only one frictional force because there is only one combination of surfaces. Here, this is one combination and this is one combination. So you have Fs plus Fs. 2Fs in the upward direction is equal to downward. You have only this is mg. Okay, now coming to Fs, what we have? Fs is equal to mu s into n. If you substitute the value here, you get 2 mu s into n is equal to mg. This n is clearly equal to f here. That's why you can replace this n with f. That's why 2 mu s into f is equal to mg. Last step, what force we required to keep the book without sliding is given by mg by what this is called 2 mu s. That's all. This is the definition. F is equal to mg by 2 mu into s. This is the horizontal force required. See, there is only one small difference between the previous case and this case. In the previous case, just we have only one force against the wall. Here I am holding the book between the two hands and I am calculating this. Very simple. Like this, it is unlimited. We can give unlimited number of examples. I will give to try some previous complete exams, that means previous JEE and NEET oriented problems. Now, a body is placed, it is an automobile, it is an open top automobile, here see, and on this a block is placed here, which is moving in the forward direction with some acceleration. Okay. If the velocity of the vehicle exceeds a certain value, the block placed over it begins to slide down. It's a slide off this. So now we are going to calculate what would be the maximum acceleration of the automobile, so that a block placed on its open top does not skid. Here I would like to tell about one factor which is called pseudo force. Force opposite, it is pseudo force. And when in the childhood, when you are on a giant wheel, you can experience this. When you are moving in a giant wheel, when you are at the peak position, you feel you were thrown out with some force. That is which acts outward. Pseudo, it's not real, you feel it. Similarly, when we placed a briefcase in a moving train, what happened? That briefcase will move backward while the train moves forward. Who moves this briefcase backside? Nobody touches. Some force will act on it, that is called pseudo force. Here see, here what are the two forces act on this one is coming to the block diagram of this one. This is see, in one direction it is MA is acting, and in the other direction the frictional force comes into existence. Frictional force, this is F is equal to mu mj. Then if we make them equal, what happened is MA is equal to mu mg, m and m will get cancelled, A is equal to mu g is the right answer. That means we can calculate the maximum acceleration with which this truck can move, so that a body placed over on it does not fall down. Given by A is equal to mu. What is mu? Coefficient of friction between these two. That is given as mu. And what is g? You know it very well. That is 9.8 meter per second square. This A is equal to mu g. Right? And one more. What happened if a body is placed exactly at the in front of this one? That means same example, I am taking this truck, see, this is the position of the truck. If a wooden plank is placed in front of it, it should maintain certain acceleration so that a plank placed in front of it does not falls down, falls down. How is it? Can you, that means it is accelerating. Means it is moving with an acceleration a. Then what is the force exerted by it? F is equal to ma. That means it's normally acting on the same, this normally action. What are the different forces? Its weight mg will act downward and the frictional force between these two will act upward. This is the condition. Now see, for balancing purpose, what we have to write? This frictional force is equal to mg, me, but this F is equal to mu n, and mu n is equal to mg. This normal reaction is nothing but ma. That's why mu ma is equal to mg, and these two gets cancelled. A is equal to g by mu. That is one more important relation. The previously asked in competitive examinations exclusively in JEE. Of course, it is also in NEET also. This is the formula, G is equal to mu by S. Shall we read once again? Here a wooden plank of mass m is attached in front of an automobile which is accelerating at A. Then the force exerted by this vehicle on the plank, known as the normal reaction, is equal to ma, which acts normally, and weight of this plank mg acts downward, frictional force acts vertically upwards. Okay, for balancing sake, see, upward force is equal to downward force, F is equal to mg. F is equal to how much? Mu n is equal to mg. N is equal to how much? Ma. Mu ma is equal to mg. Gets cancelled. Therefore, acceleration of the truck it has to maintain so that a plank attached in front of it does not fall down is given by A is equal to g by mu. Right?